And so we begin. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel the waves of the road crash over you and relax you while I drive my 2000 911 Carrera. It's summer, but we're not at the ocean because the Midwest is without one. Instead, we're driving some farm roads in Illinois, near the borders of both Wisconsin and Iowa. My wife and I drove here separately. She's gifted me a few hours of no responsibilities to get out and enjoy the local roads, as long as I'm back before nap time. If you like driving, like me, this is a meditation. No phones, just windows down, sunroof open, alone with my car and a collection of CDs purchased from the local flea market. Since we're both here, set adrift in sports car bliss, I'll speak freely about my beloved 911. If you didn't know, this one is a 996. It's water-cooled and it's kind of a beater, but it is worthy. All 911s are worthy, whether 80s G-bodies or base 991s or rat 996s like this one. If your Instagram feed looks like mine, you only see an endless scroll of unobtainium turbo 993s and lower 964s. It's a veritable sea of vibe content. I keep looking, so it's my own doing. The sum total of maintenance expense to keep this virtual pantheon of cars healthy must be staggering. But I'm not going to think about preventative maintenance or catastrophic engine failure today. Breathe in. My 911 is perfectly healthy. Breathe out. That coolant temp gauge is normal, right? Is the needle supposed to be over the zero or in front of it? Focus. My 911 is a good 911, and all 911s are worthy 911s. I guess it would be wizard to have an air-cooled one, like an 88 Targa, a birth year car. Cool wooden 917 shift knob, big old whale tail, live life as an outlaw greaser freak, wear vampire teeth to cars and coffee and make a board with bats all over it. Just kidding. If this had a big wing, I wouldn't see that spoiler rise at 75, popped up like the lapels on Danny Zuko's legendary T-Birds jacket. I am basically grease lightning right now. But listen to me yammer. It's just this drive is taking me back to my old high school greaser days, riding around on Pennsylvania farm roads in a Miata, top down, listening to Monster Mash. At least 3 other members of my rockabilly gang, the Voodoo Poodles, hanging out of the vehicle like maniacs. Those were the days, down at the club, the Cherry Bomb, when groovin' was groovin'. Just me and a couple of other 14 to 17-year-olds getting lit on chocolate liqueur and clowning on the jocks. Yeah, those were the days. But I'm not trying to live in the past. Can I even be a greaser again if I don't have any hair? Be present. Enjoy this day in this car. Maybe I will become an influencer. Take some HD photos of the steering wheel from outside the car and set it to lo-fi. Truth is, though, these 996 narrow-body cars don't always photograph well. Sometimes they just plain look bad. Spud. Quasimodo. Real yam, this one. I call this angle, why? But maybe I could start a revolution. Sell ads to pay for a nice engine rebuild. No, we're not thinking about rebuilds today. There is no bore score, so why would I need to rebuild? I push the car pretty hard now. They say it's really good to rev these things out. Odds are, if you've seen a YouTube video of a 996, bore score is mentioned at least 40 times. Believe me, I didn't want to talk about it, but it's everywhere, and many people have their takes on the issue. It's not a big deal to me. I've blown up cars before. One time, the Voodoo Poodles got a hold of an Isuzu Amigo and thrashed that thing. We had just crested E.B. Chickies Road when BAM! It was a long walk back to my mom's house in the dead of summer. Sweaty leather jackets are quite heavy. By the time we did get home, little Lenny Lamoureux couldn't see or hear, his eyes and ears covered in melted pomade. Everything turned out fine. No point in worrying about this car anyway, as I can't rebuild the engine myself. There are projects I want to do. As a Porsche owner who doesn't love bleeding money, I've had to buy some tools and get my hands dirty. Sockets, screwdrivers, and the like. Big wrench. While I'm not cussing today, I have cussed at this car pretty good. Like I imagine a real mechanic does. For what it's worth, I think maintenance is kind of fun. I get in the zone. The auto zone. They stock every kind of part and 4 kinds of Tweety mats. If you don't want Tweety, only the computer can tell you the part you need for your big project. At my local, Valerie helps me out. It always starts the same. Val asks me, "What kind of car you got, sugar?" "Hyundai," I say. Whoops, wrong car. Porsche. Am I trying to impress Valerie, the AutoZone clerk? I guess I don't know. "What year?" she asks. 2000. "It's a 25-year-old rat, Val. No biggie, babe." Val rolls her eyes. Porsche jerk. I thought this guy was different. "What model?" 911. What do you think I was going to say, Boxster? She clicks and clacks at the machine for what feels like an eternity, not acknowledging my sick burn on the innocent bystander Boxster community. I'm sitting here wondering, can we get a move on, Val? I'm embarrassed a little. The guy behind me is holding like 6 alternators and it looks like he's about to keel over. She looks up and says, "My friend Rodney has a 911. Fast car. Faster guy." She's trouble, this one. Valerie, what do fast guys have to do with me? I'm just a local dad. I hung up my voodoo poodle jacket a long time ago. I've got a 3-hour project ahead of me swapping out the wiper blades. Just tell me what kind I need. She writes down the SKU and slides it across the desk, slow-like, with a smile. I get the sense she's done that before. Then I remember, I'm not her usual customer. I'm not some Jeep guy dropping in for some Taz seat covers and her phone number. Maybe I will get another Jeep, like my first car, back when a Cherokee Sport was a sport. Windows down, lifted a few inches, big tires with lots of noises. We couldn't hear it, though. 6 to 8 voodoo poodles jammed in a 97 Cherokee is really loud, especially with the John Cougar Mellencamp turned up to 11. All 500 pounds of Big Dale shouting from the trunk about throwing a few hundred pallets of apples at old man Nanamaker's garage. Nanamaker would be livid when he opens his garage and it's flooded with apple carcass. It is true, 17 has turned 35, and I'm surprised that we're still living. My Jeep is probably still haunting rural Pennsylvania. Even if rust ate the sills alive, the owner doesn't need to worry about bore score on a 4.0, unlike this 3.4. Damn it! Here we go again with the invasive bore score thoughts. I'm looking at my oil pressure gauge like that's going to tell me something. 143,000 miles. I can get another 10,000 or more, right? I'm just sick of this macabre dance. The idea, like a storm cloud, threatening to rain down little marks all down my cylinder walls. I downshift and run the car harder. It's one of my rituals to ward off the demons. If this car is going to go, I hope it's quick. But that's wishful thinking. It's more a chronic illness. Makes the whole gold-darn bore score thing worse. I do the right things. Change the oil. I don't take short trips to and from the ice cream parlor a few blocks away. I don't lean against the car, licking a cone, loitering like the Fonz for a few minutes just to drive a half-mile home. In some ways, this car has made me grow up. I want to keep it forever, so I need to be responsible. And before I know it, my spoiler's down again. I'm going to give this rat girl a thorough wash and get ready to do this all over again tomorrow. Maybe don the old voodoo poodles jacket and film my experience. Post it to YouTube and get famous.